When I share my story, it's about more than building an inspirational space for artists. I represent the creative spirit of the nation, the Choctaw Nation.
I am our past.
I am our present.
I am our future.
I am all of us. When we share, we become one.
Because our stories make us more.
Stories keep our culture alive.
See them and share them at togetherwe'remore.com.
People don't know what it is to be champions. Oklahoma invented it.
Welcome to Through the Keyhole. What's up, everybody? It's an Oklahoma football podcast. We're back Tuesday. It's the Free Pod. Brady Trantham here alongside Matt Burton, Peyton Guthrie, and Alan Kinney. All four of us, the four horsemen, are all in attendance for this evening's festivities. We await the college football rankings that you will no doubt by the time you listen to this know already, but you know, it's fun for us. So we are going ahead and recording right before it comes on so that we can talk about, or at least put a bow on the Alabama game, because again, you beat Alabama, you get to talk about it again and again and again. That's the fun part of this. So we also didn't have Peyton Guthrie on the No Cap Recap, which you can find exclusively on patreon.com/thekeyhole. We didn't have him on there, so we'll get his thoughts for Alabama from OU's win over Alabama. Excuse me. We're starting a little bit later. I'm already off. But let's get the housekeeping out of the way. The home field apparel is the exclusive apparel sponsor of Through the Keyhole. Go check them out, homefieldapparel.com. Two more games left, 2 home games left in Norman. So if you haven't been to a home game yet, haven't been to a tailgate yet, and you want to look awesome, go check out their gear. I think they put out the windbreaker again that I spent a good chunk of money on, and I have been very, very at the time I was like, just take the debit card and don't make me think about it. But I've been very, very satisfied with the old school Barry Switzer OU windbreaker thing. I like that. Always get compliments on it. So go check them out. Also, the Spirit Shop in Norman, they deliver. So if you're at tailgates this Saturday in Norman, call them up if you ever need a beer run. You don't need to take matters into your own hands. Go call them and they'll bring it right to you. And then Kaizen Performance Gym, the best gym in Norman, Oklahoma. And of course, our title sponsor, the Choctaw Nation. Together, we're more.com. Peyton, any new feature coming up down the pike, or is there already one out there?
No, we do it once a month at the top of the month. I cannot for any Oklahoma State fans listening, we'll be doing a feature about Tegan Jameson, amateur wrestler, collegiate wrestler for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. He'll be coming out on December 1.
Well, unfortunately for the OU wrestling fans that listen to this show, I mean, if he wrestled for Oklahoma State, that must mean that he kicked Oklahoma's ass like every time they went up against each other. Them's just the facts. They do the wrestling much better than OU. I mean, at one point OU was awesome, but it's not the case anymore, unfortunately. But yes, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter. It's at Keyhole Pod on Twitter. Patreon, like I mentioned, patreon.com/thekeyhole, and then keyholepod.com, where you can find Alan Kinney's thoughts, post-game thoughts from the Alabama win, the Blatant Homerism weekly column. You can look for that as well. And Spotify comments. I dropped the ball, did not get to anybody that commented this previous week, was busy. Sorry, apologies for that, but thank you to everybody that got to us via the Spotify comments. Appreciate that. We keep getting new Spotify ratings. Thank you all so much. And they must be good because we still maintain that 4.7 rating. So thank you all very much for that. Would love to be above 100 by the end of the regular season. So we got 2 more weeks left. If you've not done so, please leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify. We also got another rating on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. We're up to 219 right now. So let's go for 225 by the end of the season. That would be great. If you've not done so, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. But first, Peyton, the floor is yours. I mean, OU owns Alabama. I think you can legally say now. I think that's fair. We discussed with the Keyhole lawyers that it's okay. It's not It's not a lie. It's not slander. OU owns Alabama. The state of Alabama, by the way, OU is the Iron Bowl champion for the second year running. That's always good. But, Alan and Matt and I, we talked about it Alan talked about it for about an hour, and then Matt and I stayed on for another 30 minutes, talked about it some more with some extra stuff at the very end. But the floor is yours, Peyton. You beat Alabama. All your goals are now in front of you if you're OU in terms of getting to the playoff and potentially hosting a playoff game. How does it feel to go into Tuscaloosa and come out with a victory?
I mean, anytime you can go into Tuscaloosa and come out with a win, first time since 2019, if I have that right, if Brent Venable spoke correctly in that hype video they dropped after the fact, you take it. if it feels like you stole it, that's fine. You just survive on this side of it. I mean, sure, if you really want to dig into it, there's some like down-to-down stuff that Oklahoma did not perform well, especially on offense, obviously. Alabama did perform better from a down-to-down perspective in Oklahoma. But if you drill into that stuff, it's not like Alabama had a good game on its own. The Oklahoma defense really held them much below, season success rates and EPA, the whole thing on that side. Alabama made a lot of their hay, obviously, in the first half with those in-breaking routes, those intermediate in-breaking routes, which have been an issue for Oklahoma. But if you look, in my personal opinion, if you look at it schematically, Oklahoma seems totally fine with giving you that, because they're either going to get the quarterback or that you're not going to get one over the top. So they're okay with hitting them with the 10, 12-yard in route as those linebackers in the A gap are trying to mug stuff up or drop back a little late. So that's a weakness, a quote-unquote weakness in the scheme that doesn't necessarily, in my mind, say Alabama should have won that game because they got a lot of junk yardage that didn't turn into too much on that side. Oklahoma just has to figure out how to be somewhat consistent on offense. I mean, you don't have to go out and score 50 points or anything like that. You just have to be able to hold on to the football a little bit. I mean, that to me is where this season is going to be, because of that lack in consistency. These next two games are coin flips to a degree, because if they can't just convert third downs, it's going to be a problem moving forward. This team, as you've seen, is a playmaking team, though. Like any point in time, they need a play. It's a high leverage situation. John Mateer can make a QB run, or the defense can force a turnover. I mean, they're very good at making plays when they matter. And I think it's a progress. Last year, Oklahoma lost a bunch of close games. Now they're winning a bunch of close games. Next year they need to be winning games, without just remove the doubt on some of this stuff. But overall, extremely pleased, extremely excited. I jumped up and screamed, and on the fourth and 6 pass breakup, I strained my foot. I tensed up so tightly. But it was fun. It was a fun time watching it. Hanging out with my granddad, watching that down in Hugo was a pretty good time.
Good. It's always good to have the family and the friends around when a big win like that happens. It's where memories are made. I was watching over at Lee's, and thankfully he was just complaining about buying a digital antenna, because the next day YouTube TV and ESPN shook hands and said, okay, now, so he was like, wasted money on this digital antenna. The game started and had been on for about 10 minutes. OU had the ball, and then a power surge happened because he lost power immediately and for a split second, and everything turned back on. But all the YouTube, cause he's got 2 other TVs. So the YouTube TV streams were going to take 5 to 6 minutes to boot up, but then his digital antenna kicked the OU Alabama game immediately back on. So that was very lucky. It's okay, lucky that. There is some I guess there is some still to this day value in archaic technology. Alan, now that we've gone a few more days from the Alabama win, I mean, Peyton kind of touched on what we're going to get into, especially once we start talking about the Missouri game in a little bit later on the show. Now that we're further away from it, I mean, is the conversation more about, hey, that was a great win, that was a great showing, that's a great benchmark for where the program is right now and where it could potentially be going under Brent Venables. I mean, I keep thinking about that article I wrote for Sooners on SI where I bullet pointed like all the fuck ups that this program has had under Brent at key moments. And it seems like as soon as that got published, I published that in the airport flying to Knoxville. So two games since then, 2 wins where the program, the team under Brent Venables has made key plays in those crucial moments that resulted in huge wins. Is the conversation, should it still be there or should it be now? Yeah, I'm going to need more out of the offense. Mateer, I'm going to need you to start like throwing the ball instead of like double clutching it and then running into a sack, or hey, you don't need to bail on this play, step up into the pocket, and maybe you can find a guy crossing wide the hell open. Like, should we be going that way, or should we still be like, wow, like progress has been made and Alabama stamped that?
Yeah, it's funny. Actually, I would argue that they actually had some bad plays in key spots in both these last 2 games that really could have turned the outcome. But I mean that grounding penalty or intentional grounding penalty on Mateer was just mind blowing, so bad. But anyway, I mean the way I'm looking at it. No, I mean, I think just so much about this season at this point is a big success. It felt like Alabama was definitely kind of obviously the, winning there in Tuscaloosa, the way things are going. Like that was the kind of thing that, for a lot of teams to make their season. But, I don't know. I want to see how they finish out. Like, I mean, the way that, they're just so inconsistent on offense, and inconsistent might not even be the right word. I mean, they're just mediocre. And so, I mean, I think that's where my head is, but that's partially because the Alabama game was 3 days ago, and now I'll use got bigger fish to fry here.
No doubt. The fish is Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
That fish, that fish. Matt, please tell me that it's okay to be happy about a team that forces turnovers, because at one point it was bad that we couldn't do it. Then no, you did so, but it's random.
It is random, according to Brad Crawford. You really shouldn't count them. To be honest with you, like you really shouldn't count them. Especially when Alabama does it. Like, Alabama's got a better resume, and if they don't turn the ball over 3 times, then they probably win that game going away, Brady. So it's okay. It's fine. I love it. I loved your Monday post, and again, like I talked about on a Monday too on our show yesterday. Just like I have zero problem with predictive models, with all this stuff. I really don't. Like, I mean, I think it's a really good tool to like help project like what you should be looking for in a game, like all this stuff. It's really good. The thing that always gets me is the people that are butthurt when their models are wrong. Like, it's just like, it's like they can't accept that, hey, they just got it wrong, because, college football, random things can happen. And that's why we love sports, right? Anything can happen. That's the reason they play the game. And that's the reason why we don't just watch the game on a piece of paper, right? Or on a predictive model thing. So I love it. I love it. Like, hey, the model is wrong, dude, because college football randomness in sports happened. Another team forced some turnovers and scored off of them. Like, I mean, that happens. It's okay that the model was wrong.
Models were wrong. OU comes in at number 8 in the college football ranking. Bama dropped to 10th. Does that mean Notre Dame's at 9?
Yes,
it does. Yes.
Man, how many Catholics are on this committee?
The thing is Notre Dame like is smoked teams. You know what I mean? Like that's clearly what is hoisting them up right now.
Are you ready for the new era of sports in Oklahoma? Want to be ready for some real Southern football? Kaizen Performance in Norman, Oklahoma is your spot for physical and mental growth. By empowering a lifestyle of constant, continuous improvement, Kaizen Performance's gym experience lends itself from the experienced training fanatics to those who want to make a positive change in their lives and everyone in between. Come see their new location at 158 Armstrong Court in Norman, Oklahoma. With experienced trainers who understand that every client has individual desires and needs, in-person and online customized training programs and nutrition plans, Kaizen Performance has everything to offer for you to meet your goals. Again, their new location is 158 Armstrong Court, Norman, Oklahoma, 73071. Seriously, Brady works out there, and so does Peyton when he comes to home games. Come work out with us and get ready for the week-to-week grind of real Southern football. Kaizen Performance, Norman's own local gym where your goals are a workout away.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, I bitched about kind of the inverse of this last week, but OU, for the most part, would destroy most of their opponents in conference in the Big 12, and it would help. And so the committee likes, if you're playing with one loss or two losses and you're still vying for positioning, if you win games, great. If you win games and look good, then they'll like that until they don't want you playing Alabama in the Cotton Bowl because you're Oklahoma. Then they'll retroactively move you back a spot so that you have to play, in the Orange Bowl. Whatever.
This does have OU. It would, if it ended right now, it'd be OU hosting Notre Dame. So I would turn on your Shams Charania notifications for the Thunder, maybe making a trade of some sort if that were to happen. So,
I mean, they locked up AJ Mitchell. He's a trade piece now, right?
That's true. He's a trade piece. They need a sixth man of the year on their roster. That may be AJ Mitchell right now, so that they can trade him away during this football game if OU were to host Notre Dame.
Well, we're on the NBA. Peyton, how's Victor Wembanyama's very, very long calf muscle?
Calf strength, setting them out. Okay, MRI. And we also Castle goes down with something, and then the other kid goes down. This is why you go out and get Fox. This is why you go out and sign the backup center. I mean, they've got some depth to at least be competitive for maybe a week or two. But from my understanding, the calf stuff is more being extremely precautionary, so there isn't an Achilles thing later. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just normal basketball.
If I'm the Spurs,
like wait for him to get hurt. It's just a normal basketball thing.
Yeah. If I'm the Spurs and they're like, hey, we'll reevaluate him in 2 weeks. Reevaluate him in a month. Do not mess around with Victor Wembanyama. Do not mess around with his health,
They started off pretty well. I mean, they've afforded themselves hey, don't come back too quickly. Don't be doing that. Long season.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good until I think it was the Suns who started. No, the Suns really threw a defensive thing at the Spurs where basically they just double teamed him immediately no matter what, and they couldn't do anything about it.
Alan,
pretty elaborate defense there.
Yeah. It's just climb all over him.
Yeah, we don't
have enough shooters.
We need two people to guard him, not one. Okay.
Alan, I've not forgotten about you.
How tall?
We need a Wizards update.
Oh God, man, I have no idea. I haven't watched a Wizards game in 3 years, probably.
Was Jordan still playing?
he might have been the last time I saw him, man. Nah, man, the last lineup I saw, I think John Wall was still playing. I don't know, man. I have no updates to give.
The Wizards are in a perfect spot where they have some really fun young players, and they're pretty fun, but they're 1-12, so they're going to end up with a top 4 pick. So they're in a great spot right now.
Did they get rid of Jordan Poole?
No, I believe he's still on.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, thank God I haven't been watching. That would drive me up the wall, man.
Yeah, everyone's mad right now. Talk about OU. Fine. Yeah, OU, Notre Dame, or if it ended right now, they're projected to play each other. Oregon, Alabama is the 7-10. Tech and Tulane, which that would actually be a fun game. Texas Tech and Tulane 5-12. Ole Miss, Miami 6-11. That would be a fun game because sometimes Ole Miss can just play sloppy, and I mean things are getting a little weird in Oxford right now. So who knows? And then you've got Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, and Georgia at 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So they have Miami as the ACC rep.
Yes,
at this point in time,
But
which doesn't
isn't-
make any sense because they can't make the
They
game.
can't make the game. Yeah, they can't make the title game. So I don't.
Really, Notre Dame should just be the ACC rep, and let's just be fucking done with this shit. Like just enough. Yeah. Just please enough with this pretend stuff. Notre Dame, please.
They just have them there. They're the highest ranked ACC team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they
right.
didn't do any sort of championship stuff in there.
Okay.
I mean, there's
this
big
does
matchups.
seem to be the highest Oklahoma could be, I believe. If all the games play out the way you think they should, I think Oklahoma probably ends up around 9. Because if Alabama were to win the SEC,
yeah, they'll probably get a bump if Alabama wins the SEC.
I mean, if USC beats Oregon and OU wins out, I mean, Missouri's ranked, right? They're like in the 20s. So if OU beats Missouri and then beats LSU and Oregon loses, because, I mean, Stoya just put this out. I don't agree. I don't know if he's implying this because his tweet says Oregon 0 wins against the new top 25. Oklahoma 3 wins versus the new top 25. I wouldn't jump OU over Oregon right now, but in the event that Oregon loses to USC, I mean, they should skyfall because they've not really beaten anybody.
Oklahoma just looks pretty hard capped at 8 right now.
Yeah, I think that feels like
I'm not sure how you jump any of these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, if the offense just suddenly puts points on the board, is that going to like change people's minds about OU? Is it that simple?
No. I mean, if OU goes out and wins the next 2 games by 35 each, that'll change minds. But right now, it's pretty much baked in.
Yeah. They just don't have enough meat on the bone to jump over, and other teams have other games. And Alabama, who's at 10 right now, is right now the shoot. I mean, they have to be Auburn, but they're going to be the other side of the SEC title game against A&M, so they have a chance to beat A&M, jump back into the top 5 or whatever, and then A&M wouldn't drop that far. Just Oklahoma's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you're in the playoffs.
Well, that kind of segues into what I was wanting to talk about next, and I'm going to try my best to not like imply that I think Missouri is going to be a pushover. I mean, like we've all discussed, like these last 2 games are going to be very, very difficult, and this is the last box that Brent Venables has to check this season. In this season where he's bucked a lot of narratives, a lot of trends, and checked some boxes here and there. I mean, the Texas thing, it's still kind of annoying, but now that he's had success and put together a string of success and has everything kind of right before him, laid out, if you just, take care of business, especially at home, then you get to the playoff and you get to potentially host a playoff game. Well, the last time that OU and Brent Venables were in this situation, as similar as it could be, would be Texas in 2023. And we remember what happened after that. The team looked completely different. So this is another big test for Brent Venables in this program to prove that they've gotten over. But in discussing the offense, I mean, Peyton, I'll start with you. Earlier today, I wrote a little newser on Ben Arbuckle's press conference, and he got asked about the lack of the vertical passing game, John Mateer potentially losing confidence since he had come back, all those things. And I'd remembered a quote John Mateer gave us, I think the week going into the Ole Miss game, where he talked about how the Texas game like really humbled him and made him realize that he was a control freak, and he wanted, or he understood that, I need to like actually rely on my teammates. And him coming from Washington State, where the talent isn't like it is at OU, and then him coming here, that understanding makes sense to me. It's like, I don't have to do everything myself. But even still, the offense, of course, has just been so bad to okay at times. At times, John Mateer makes a play. At times, they run a route downfield and Isaiah Satania catches it. The consistency hasn't been there. The explosiveness hasn't been there whatsoever. And then in the story, I'm like, another factor is, you had to play Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Alabama. 4 of those games away from Norman. That could be a big part of it too. understanding full well that Missouri has a good defense, SP plus, like all their numbers suggest that they're good. But to me, like the talent level that Mateer is going to be going up against is going to take a noticeable dip from the last month of what we had to watch him go up against. Maybe that leads into the offense having a little bit more success. I'd feel a lot better about that if Xavier Robinson didn't look like he lost a leg at the end of the Alabama game. But I'm trying to be optimistic here and thinking, yeah, the offense looked bad because the offense is flawed and John Mateer isn't the guy that we kind of hoped that he would be. But they also played a lot of good fucking teams in sequence. And maybe that had more to do with it than just OU being bad on offense. Maybe they can be average to good, not bad to average, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oklahoma, according to SP Plus, Oklahoma, the next 2 weeks will play the 16th rated defense and then the 14th rated defense in the nation. So I don't necessarily think it's going to be like a crack our necks and say, whew, finally, some easy teams. Those were South Carolina and Ole Miss and Tennessee. Those were the defenses that you had a good stretch to where you had a chance where something was going to happen. It was going to happen. You found a run game during those games. I think the only thing that we're seeing, and to be honest with you, I'm not for sure if it is the talent disparity or anything like that. And I hate to do it just over and over and over again. He just can't read the field. I mean, it feels like that's like the cheat code or whatever. Like, it's like, he can't. It's one thing to say guys are closing in on passes quicker than he is used to. But it's another thing where it's like there's just a wide open guy that he's just not looking at or not throwing the ball to. And that is more of the issue to me than he's trying to do something. Now, what he does seem to be trying to do that he did at Washington State is that he is dancing around and then hoping that manipulates the defensive secondary enough to where a window does open, right? And then he's able to make a pass. The pass he threw to Kanak that almost got picked off, he's scrambling, and like 3 OU wide receivers all run to like the exact same spot. And that doesn't help out either. But guys started getting open because of the Alabama secondary really starts responding to him moving around. So my assumption is he can't see the field very well, and that's a processing thing. A lot of information is being tossed at you. There's coverages that are changing. Maybe the types of coverages and how quickly this is basically NFL junior football he's playing. That's happening. That's causing some confusion or muddying up the picture enough where he doesn't feel confident throwing it. Plus a combination of potentially 4 or 5 weeks of not being able to rip it and grip it the way he's used to. So he's lost some confidence there. But I think it's more that he's not able to manipulate the defense with his legs in a way to get something open because he's not seeing it open before that, if that makes sense. I don't think it's a physical thing at all. I think it's purely he needs to go 1, 2, 3 ball out, and that's just not happening because he's not looking 1, 2, 3 ball out. And I'm not for sure why that is, but he is playing some backyard ball. But I'm not for sure if it's because he's like thinking he has to do everything. I think it's more of that's how he's operated. And maybe Ben Arbuckle needs to give him some more. What am I trying to say here? One read plays, right? I mean, just treat him like a freshman quarterback and allow him to kind of work his way to it. 1 read, 2 read plays and go from there. But nothing's happening. I know they showed the Satania play again at before the Alabama started playing, where Mateer's drifting, hits him for a touchdown. And you can just see Kanak just like waving, like panically waving. Mm-hmm. No one is within 30 yards of me, just over here. So I think if you want to put it that way and say he's pressing, but the thing is we've seen him in games where he's not pressing, and I'm ranting, I apologize, but we've seen him in games where he's not pressing, like South Carolina, and he's still just missing guys. So I don't think it's him trying to do too much. I think he is potentially more limited than we thought. And maybe he just banged up enough to where he can't overcome that with the QB run game. So the QB run game is somewhat non-existent now. And he's shown the ability to run against high-level defenses. I think probably he's just banged up enough to where that part of the game has vanished, and now he doesn't have the picture clean enough to operate.
Al, anything you want to jump off on?
No, I mean, I've had my concerns about Mateer's ability to, make the good decisions, make the right reads from the jump. And so, like, I mean, I just, it doesn't seem to be getting better. And so
no,
that's kind of where we are.
Okay. So Peyton, with respect to you pointing out their SP plus defensive ratings, I know that they're both top 15, but just like I said last week, LSU fucking sucks and Missouri is kind of an average team. I don't really care. Like, the expectation for me, and this might not be shared by you guys, I'm not expecting the offense to suddenly like score 40 or 50 points, like with relative ease. But Missouri and LSU being worse teams than Ole Miss or Tennessee, or playing Tennessee at home or playing Alabama at home, Missouri and LSU being worse teams, to me, takes less stress off the offense, because they understand that, yeah, this isn't Alabama. If we fuck up, it's not the end of the world potentially. And even still, if the offense turns the ball over, I think OU's only given up 2 touchdowns off of their turnovers this year, and like maybe 2 or 3 other field goals. Like, I think most of their turnovers, the offense has surrendered. The opponent immediately punts it back to them because our defense is really good. That makes sense to me. This is an example of when, like, advanced metrics and numbers are great. They don't tell you the whole story. I'm looking at Missouri's schedule, and I get why their defense is rated so damn high. Alabama and Texas A&M are the only teams with any kind of pulse at the quarterback position, at the skill position. Pavia is a fun story at Vanderbilt, but that was a 17-10 loss for Missouri. But again, the point is, I think that there is a larger opportunity for the offense to show that a lot of the failures of the previous few games on offense had more to do with the fact that they were playing playoff caliber teams. Missouri is a good team. They're not a playoff caliber team. Neither is LSU. Do they each have talent? Of course they do. Do they each have ratings and stats that suggest that they're really good? And are they good at certain things? Of course they are. Like, this is the SEC. But if John Mateer can't make plays against this defense, that's when there should be some really huge red flags, because against South Carolina, who at the time, I think they're still 18th or 19th on defense. At the time, they were a top 15 SP plus defense when OU played them. At the time, we all kind of thought, oh, that's a really good bounce back game for John Mateer after the Texas game. Like, he made throws. He looked downfield at times. But this to me is kind of the same thing as that. Different types of challenges, of course, with Missouri and South Carolina, but it's the same type of game. This is a team that isn't a playoff caliber team, so you're playing them at home. You should kick their ass.
Yeah, currently right now, I can't think of when they were ranked. Currently right now, South Carolina, again, this is SP+. South Carolina's 33rd and Tennessee's 48th. So, and Ole Miss is actually 19th. So you had those 2 games in which Oklahoma they found a run game. Mateer played decent. I think that potentially may be more of a product of those defenses. I would say, if I were you, you go on Amazon right now and you order your red flags about John Mateer's play, because I think you're going to be putting them on the flagpole, regardless of that. And to me, that's more. There's something that the Solid Verbal people talked about after this game when they're recapping the Alabama game. Dan said, this OU offense is limited, but they know they're limited. Like, they're being who they are. They're not trying to be anything more than who they are, and they're winning games because of it. Like, John Mateer now isn't throwing 3 interceptions like he was against Auburn or Michigan. You do that now, Alabama wins, right? So it's more important at this point in time, and it feels weird to say this, it's more important to not make the mistake. Hang around until you can do something. And so far, that's been beneficial for Oklahoma. Do I think they can press an advantage against Missouri? The way Missouri plays and the way Oklahoma plays, I expect this game to be over in an hour, 15 minutes. And I don't expect it to be. I don't expect Oklahoma to even have the ability to showcase an offense, unless they have a ton of short fields off fumbles or.
Is Missouri's defense just awesome? Have I just been asleep? Like, why? Like, I get that our offense is not awesome, but at some point, can someone please give respect to the schedule that everyone said in the offseason? This is why I'm going to pick OU to go 6-6 again. It's because their schedule is so fucking hard. Then they pretty much successfully navigate it for the most part. Doesn't look pretty, but they successfully navigate it for the most part. And now all of a sudden Missouri is awesome on defense. Like, it's going to be a tough game. I'm not expecting Sam Bradford to trot out there, but I mean, there is an opportunity for the offense to actually put some points on the board here.
Who's playing running back? Who's playing running back? Who's playing running back for OU this weekend?
Jade Knott, baby.
We saved them for this game.
$600,000 man.
I mean, OU didn't have a running back for the majority of the season until Torrey Blaylock had a few nice games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that wasn't a problem then. It shouldn't be a problem now. I mean, John Mateer is OU's best running back, unless Xavier Robinson just gets healed magically.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily it's more. I don't think, and if you're hearing me saying Missouri is better than who they think they are, I just think Oklahoma's offense hasn't shown me the ability to consistently down to down beat somebody. And it's just a full 3-phase win, right? They win because they do just enough on offense. They do more than enough on defense, and they probably have the best special teams unit in the country. And it's a formula that is successful for Oklahoma so far. But I don't think this game, and we're not talking about score predictions or anything, I don't think we're talking about this game being like 35-13 Oklahoma. I mean, I think it's both teams can't score above 20, and we're in and out. And Oklahoma's like, man, thank God that's over.
Yeah, the part that concerns me is more like when you can't score, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, even it's easy to say, oh, okay, well, they just need to get like 2 touchdowns or something like that. Well, I don't know. What if they fumble a kickoff? Or what if, the ball gets snapped into John Mateer's leg or down his feet and gets fumbled and, Missouri picks it up and runs it in. I mean, OU's playing at the moment a very like low margin style. And so like, that's what I mean. So OU should win this game. And yes, OU should beat LSU. But when you're playing the way that they're playing right now, you just leave the door open for these teams to, I don't know, like, I mean, kind of, get, I guess, luck into a win. It'd be the best way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what we're arguing here, because I'm not expecting 45 points. I'm not expecting 3 or 4 consecutive touchdown drives where it just looks like Baker Mayfield out there, because that is just not going to be the case. John Mateer is a flawed quarterback, and my biggest problem with him has just been his penchant for, oh, the play's dead, I need to like fan out to like one side of the field. It's like, no, dude, it's not dead. The pocket's fine. Step up. Just step up into the pocket, and you might find someone over the middle of the field, because when you run to one side of the field, then like everybody else on the other side is just kind of like out of the play all of a sudden. And I mean, I feel bad for Michael Fasusi, because I feel like half his holds are the result of John Mateer bailing on the play, running around his man, and then his guy is now trying to go chase him. Fasusi's already engaged, and naturally he gets called for a hold, and it's like, well, that's not really on him, John. But with that said, I mean, yes, Peyton, OU's offense hasn't shown any of us the consistency that they can do this. Missouri hasn't shown me the ability to be a good fucking team this year. So
that's a very fair point.
That's a fair point. Yeah. And I actually have to, just for a Patreon tease, I have a Patreon interview with Block Him Nation. The reporter is Quentin over there, Block Him Nation. I'm about to jump off of this to go record with him. So if you guys want to hear a Missouri preview, it'll be coming out tomorrow on Patreon. So patreon.com/throughthekeyhole. Because I have a recording with him in like 2 minutes. But I will say my Missouri score, if I could.
Yes.
I think it's Oklahoma 17, Missouri 13. I think it's just a rock fight all the way through, and it's probably over. Like if this game is 2.5 hours, it would be mind blown. But
17-13, you said?
Quick game. Yeah, and they just punch each other in the face.
Okay, Peyton, 17-13. And do you have 2 of these coming out this week? Do I remember that correctly?
Technically. We may make one public. I reached out to 2 Missouri people at the same time. They both answered at the same time.
Oh.
So I was like, we'll do 2. So
taking 2 girls to prom, man. That's awesome.
That happens. So if you do Patreon, we'll be doing that. And then also, if you go check out Block M Nation, we have their Q&A breaking down the OU side. I wrote up their side of it for us, the preview in Oklahoma, and they'll be doing the same thing over on keyholepod.com. But be real. For some reason, Missouri Week's super busy.
They're a rival, man. They're a quad rival.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Peyton.
Boomer.
Matt, go ahead and say it. Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Boomer.
No, my bad. My bad. Sooner. Sorry.
There we go. There we go.
My fault.
Yeah, Peyton's got 17-13 Oklahoma. Well, and now I feel bad now that he's off. But I mean, Alan, you guys are on the same wavelength at least. But so, like, my question is, you guys had OU scoring, 24 points against Alabama on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. No,
I had 19.
No. You guys both picked Alabama. So you guys had, 19 and 18 points. Okay. Mm-hmm. So 19, 18 points. OU was able to almost crack 20 against Alabama on the road in your guys' eyes. And this isn't like a dunk on you. I'm just trying to get onto your wavelength of, if they can, in your mind, before the game, maybe crack 20 points, and I'm going to assume that you did not bake into those near 20 points that one of them was going to be a defensive touchdown.
No.
Nearly 20 offensive points. Like where is the struggle going to come from with Missouri? And again, Missouri can beat OU. I wouldn't be surprised. Like we joked about, man, 8-4 would be really funny going into that Tennessee game. They beat Tennessee and Alabama, and then they finish 8-4. Yikes. So I don't know. I feel like that I think we're all in a situation now where we all recognize the offense isn't awesome and it's extremely flawed. And John Mateer is a big reason for that. It doesn't give you a lot of hope moving forward for anything explosive. That's like one thing. And now that there's like a whole playoff element kind of thrust upon Oklahoma by virtue of them winning those games, everybody is now I'm not saying that you're nervous, Alan, but we're just all collectively nervous as OU people, as OU fans. And so you look for like all the reasons why it could come crumbling down. And then you start building Missouri up like as this juggernaut who, again, has not beaten a good team yet, but that doesn't mean that they can't beat one on Saturday. But that's where my mind is.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the big difference to me is like Bama plays a more wide open kind of style. They throw the ball more. Missouri is, I mean, they are they're a low margin team too. I mean, lots of running the ball, lots of milking the clock from Mizzou. And if it becomes a kind of situation where neither team can really sustain drives, then you kind of get in this situation where it's like, oh, okay. I mean, one scorer could win this or what have you. I mean, I don't know, but there's fewer opportunities really, I think is the way I look at it. With Alabama, there were going to be more drives, there were going to be more plays. I think it's more a stylistic thing at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, if at least OU can remember their September selves, especially on offense, I mean, that was kind of the blueprint against OU with Illinois State, Michigan, Auburn, Temple. Like all those guys did was just hold on to the ball, like in terms of like the game clock before they would snap it, in order to ensure OU didn't have as many opportunities on offense. Because at the time, I mean, the OU's offense was, Stoya put out the tweet yesterday about first 4 games. I mean, John was averaging 8.6 yards per attempt, and like the last 5 games, it's been barely 5 yards an attempt, and you can feel it, you can visibly see it. So I mean, they should be accustomed to that kind of the opposing team is going to attack us in this way. I don't know. I think I wish. I mean, this might be just dumb because this kind of turns into fans talking about individual play calling. I do wish that they ran more design QB run, not RPOs, because clearly Mateer has a problem with making decisions. Like the design quarterback run. And it's not just because like they ran the touchdown play against Alabama, but it seems like, Alan, whenever they do just say, John, go take off, like the blocks are there. And I think we probably talked about this on No Cap, but it seems like when they realize and admit, yes, John Mateer's our best running back, and they just go out there and do it, like success happens. And if it has to be that way, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're in a situation where you got to fire all your bullets at this point. With where the way things are, and so you'd hope that Mateer would be a bigger part of the running game against Missouri and LSU. Something though is just keeping them from doing that, right? I mean, I'm assuming it's Mateer's health, but it makes the offense when they call design, especially like design runs, when they call those for him. I mean, he runs so much better, than these kinds of, dance around the backfield type things. So, you'd hope that they would make that part of the game plan.
I mean, Matt, am I off base on any of this? Because again, I don't know, like in the moment, because when you do a podcast, when you cover a team, when you root for a team, you live in the moment. You can't help but live in the moment. I mean, some people are better at it than others, or of like putting things into perspective. But, like up until the point of the Texas game, it's like we had a preconceived notion of how good or bad the team was. And then they go out there and put that performance against Texas. And then it kind of greatly decreases your thoughts on the team. And they go on the road and beat South Carolina, and they're kind of an okay team at the time, but they're not going anywhere. And you're just like, well, you did what you were supposed to do on the road in this conference, and that's a great thing. And you have a great opportunity to kind of like really right the ship at home against Ole Miss, because they were ranked pretty high and were previously undefeated until they'd lost the week before. And then you kind of fall flat on your face, if not for a Xavier Robinson rally in the second half. And then you look into the future, and it's like at Tennessee, at Bama. It's like, oh man. Well, then OU wins those games. So you look at that 5-game stretch in totality, and it's like, yeah, there were some stinkers in there, and those stinkers are explained by, the Texas one. I mean, if John Mateer never gets hurt, does OU beat Texas? I mean, you could argue it. What I would mainly argue is I don't know if John Mateer turns the ball over 3 times. Maybe he turns it over once. And if that's the case, are they able to muster a touchdown drive to match Texas's lone touchdown offensive drive? But that's in the weeds. So what I'm trying to get to is looking at the Missouri game specifically, but like the end of the season where we're trying to like pin down, like, is this team actually as good as its record suggests, as good as its goals might suggest? Playoff team hosting a playoff game. Is it okay to expect more? Is it okay? Is it safe to expect more, especially on the offense?
I think it's safe to expect more, I guess, but man, I don't know where it's coming from right now. If you're like, I'm trying to like really be positive about this, like trying my best to say, hey, you know what? They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna find their way. But man, it feels like it's in such a bad spot right now in the offense. I may be just overreacting. I mean, that's for everyone else to say, but in my mind, it feels like it's in such a bad spot. I even said this like kind of half jokingly during the game. I was like, it feels like at times OU's playing offense with 10 guys out there. Like it's just that's what it feels like. They just can't. It's like either Mateer isn't seeing everybody, either nobody's open. Like it just, I don't know. It's mind boggling to me right now where we're at. And I think that's what's weird to me the most is that I mean, John Mateer's been in the system for how long now? Like,
long time, yeah.
I mean, and you're just not seeing people. Like, I don't get it. I mean, I would like to think in a sort of positive, or what the kids would call copium way, right now, that okay, he's just not 100%. Like, he's not 100%. They're not opening everything up. His hands still hurt. Knees still hurt. Like, all that stuff. So they're just not opening a ton up for him. But then it's, man, like, all right, his knees still hurt, but they sure shit don't have a problem running him. They don't have a problem running him in between the tackles for a touchdown. Is the only thing to me would be the hand, because they just do not try to stretch the field at all. And so I don't know, man. I'm in a really weird spot with this offense. But my thing to you, as far as expecting more, here's to your actual question of expecting more from this offense. I think it's more than fair, because the defense is championship level. Right now, the special teams is championship level. You got the pieces there. So it's almost like you guys need to figure it out on offense, because this could be special. If you guys figure something out, you could go on a special run, because I'm telling you right now, looking at the playoff picture and all this stuff, if you lined up all these teams and all the coaches and you asked each coach to list off the teams that they do not want to face, OU is up there.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of their defense.
Yeah.
The OU is up there on that list. Like maybe a Georgia up top, Ohio State, all that stuff, but not far down is OU because of that defense. So the offense has to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, hell, moving it over to the running backs, which is the walking wounded. I mean, is someone's heart going to get broken, Alan? Because it's very apparent Javonte Barnes is trying to do the, red shirt grad transfer thing. I think he'd only played 4 games, so he's eligible to red shirt.
Eligible. I mean, yeah.
And then Ott, he's out of eligibility, so I don't know why he wouldn't want to play. But man,
you're getting paid a ton of money, dude. You got 2 games, and then you may be in the college football playoff.
It's so weird to me that I think that this is weird, because Jade Knott isn't the player that we wanted him to be, and that bums us out as fans, as podcasters or whatever. He's still a person, and he still goes to practice, and he still is on the team, and he still no doubt is like friends with some of these people on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So he gives a shit to an extent. But I hate that I think that that's weird, because why? Like, why are you still here? Is this not embarrassing for you? But again, like they're athletes, so playing these games, practicing means a lot more different things than it does for us. So I keep trying to remind myself that. But I mean, if Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson aren't significantly better than what they were at the end of that Alabama game, Alan, they're going to have to force Javonte Barnes to play, or force Ott to go out there, because I don't know what Taylor Tatum is anymore. I think he's more of an idea, but one of those two running backs are going to have to shoulder some of the load, because I did not like the injury with Xavier Robinson, and I frankly haven't liked what I've seen out of Torrey Blaylock since that first snap of the Ole Miss game.
Yeah, especially, they should have had more room to run last week too. It is Alabama, but Alabama's run defense really hasn't played that well this year. And it just never really got off the ground. That's a problem. You would think, a guy like Ott, I think the deal though with Ott is that he does have 1 more year of eligibility left. So, I guess, he
does.
Yeah. He might argue I'm trying to save myself for a better year next year. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't know. But I don't know what OU will do. Can you play Kanik back there like they did with Dimitri Flowers that one time when they had all those injuries at running back?
Honestly, it wouldn't be the worst idea. I don't think it'd be the worst idea.
Right?
And you're not getting them the ball in the passing game. They've last 5 games, so.
Yeah, something like that, which, it sounds fanciful, but I mean, we're kind of getting towards that point the way it's going. You know, I don't know about Barnes. It seems, I don't know. It just clearly he's been playing for a red shirt, or not playing so he can keep his red shirt. And I don't know. I mean, if the coaches, how the coaches feel about him or feel about that, I mean, going forward, or maybe they can make it worth his while. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that does suck. I mean, does this get categorized under the just give everybody 5 years of eligibility and be done with it? So you avoid situations because look, Javonte Barnes is on this team and this team has goals, and those goals may not coincide with his individual wish of trying to go play again, because it would really suck personally for him, like long term, if he understood that as soon as I step onto this field against Missouri, I can't play football in college next year. Man. And really for him ever again. That sucks. But is that why people want the 5 years?
I mean, I think they want the 5 years because it's becoming, for example, for a regular student right now, I believe 5 years is considered normal. And so, I think that they, if you're trying to match then give them a student experience, 5 years of eligibility seems appropriate. But, I mean, the 5 year thing, I think it's, I mean, I don't know. You get these kinds of, kind of weird decisions, in terms of how to maintain a red shirt, that type of stuff that, shouldn't really be. It just seems like an odd way to do it. I think it's just cleaner to just say you've got 5 years to play.
Yeah. I mean, you might remove some element of players just moving on, I mean, but I don't know. Like we've had our complaints about Javonte Barnes, but I've never questioned his being a good teammate, being a good Oklahoma Sooner. I've never questioned that, and I appreciate that. And I mean, if Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson are not near 100% as much as they can be, it's like I feel bad that I'm like, I need you to play, because he's got his own personal desire.
And you know what? I'm sure that I would assume that he would want to play also, but then, I mean, for his own sake, he's also got to consider his future too, right? I don't think it'd be the kind of thing where he'd be like, oh no, fuck that, I'm not going, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah. Matt, would you play?
No.
We need you.
No, I would not. I want to get hit.
You're going to Duke, aren't you?
Right, yeah. I would be the meme of the video of the kid being like, where he gets drafted number 1 and he's sitting in his apartment drinking a beer. Like, wait, me? Like, me to be the guy? Okay. Yeah, no, I would not play. I'm sorry. But yeah, not to be negative Nancy, but do you really want Javonte Barnes running? Not to be that guy, not to be a dick. I'm sorry.
If Xavier Robinson still has that, if his left leg is still mummified like it was at the end of the Alabama game, yes. Because I'm also assuming Torrey's not going to be anything.
He didn't look great either against Tennessee. So and I don't know. Wonder, it might be the best, however many hundreds of thousands of dollars investment if Jaden Ott can play and be good these last 2 games. It'd be so funny, dude.
I'm over here waxing poetically about what about Javonte Barnes's feelings, and I'm serious, but I know people don't want to hear about that. In that respect, I don't give a damn about Jaden Ott. I don't care what you want to do. You get your ass out there.
I mean, the red shirt's done for you. I mean, I guess there's the injury concern, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and if he throws a fit about it, I'm throwing him out there. And then I'm going to tell John Mateer, I want you to yell at everybody and say, we're handing it off to him through the B gap. And just let his ass get kicked. Maybe that will acclimate him back into the sport of football. Because sometimes, I don't know about everybody else, but the first year I ever played football when I was a kid, I was deathly afraid because it is scary to play. And then I got hit really hard. It didn't hurt though. It was just I got perfectly hit and fell to the ground. I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And from then on, I was okay. I was not anything to write home about, but it was no longer scary. So sometimes you just need to get your ass kicked. Anything else OU universe wise, Alan? Did you want to respond to my Monday post in the least?
Oh no, I mean, I think that, I mean, my understanding, I heard Bud discuss this on his own podcast, was like his model spit out that OU would lose one of the next two games, which is why he had OU out of the field. But I mean, Bud did immediately go to the, oh, well, I mean, that's a very, lucky win for OU type talk, after beating Alabama. And I mean, I don't think Bud's necessarily wrong, right? But it also doesn't matter. Like, they did play, OU did win. They're not going to play 100 times. And so, whatever your model or rankings have, I mean, if you were to say I would favor Bama over OU tomorrow, I would too. But I mean, the problem is like they're not playing again. They're not playing tomorrow. So we can only go on, we can only go on what's actually happened.
What if they play in Norman, Alan? In a month?
Yeah. I guess that is, yeah.
I think that just the crux of the matter here, that why it gets on my nerves, is I feel like it just takes the respect out of the game of sometimes like you just get beat. Sometimes you get beat by a better team. Sometimes you get beat by a team that's not as good as you. I wrote in the Monday Post, this Alabama team reminds me of a worse offensive version, but much better defensive version of some of the Lincoln Riley teams. Like when they are humming, it's great. And they've got a more capable defense than we could ever have dreamed of back then. But when it's working, it works. But they're not like some unbeatable force. Like, we knew that it was going to be a great challenge. We knew it was going to be, tough. And this is only one of us picked OU to win. We didn't have Matt predict. I'll ask him when he comes back from the bathroom. But only one of us picked OU to win. And I didn't argue with your guys' thoughts because I understood, like, if OU wins, even if I'm correct, and I said 31-24 OU, even if I'm correct, that's going to be very fortunate. That's going to be lucky. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being lucky when you're also a good team. Like, when you lose a game to an opponent, if you're like when OU loses to like Iowa State in 2017, that sucks because like they're a much worse team than you are, and they just kind of got lucky. They caught you on a good day. They had some plays break their way, and OU's offense went to sleep. That's lucky. And it's annoying because it's not indicative of how good Iowa State is, and it's not indicative of how good OU is. It's just a bad day. OU is in the broad category of they're a good team. So when they go into Tuscaloosa and win a game, yes, some like things happen that, I don't know if you can lean on that, in a 12-game season. I don't know if you can lean on that pick six. But OU's a good team, and they made the plays, and Alabama didn't, and OU forced the issue. And when you just go back and say, well, the model says, it's like, okay, you're taking respect out of Oklahoma, and that annoys me.
Yeah, no, and that part I understand. I mean, again, like, what your model says counts for nothing. I mean, zero, you know what I mean? Like, and that is the one thing about when people start talking about like, oh, we should just let the computers rate these teams, or, we should let the Vegas handicappers pick the college football field. It's like, no. Like, we did play some games here, right? And like, I wrote about it for 2 weeks ahead of time. Like, Alabama has had its fair share of luck this year too.
Yeah,
going into that game. So, like, if it's just a matter of luck catching up with Alabama, or if Alabama maybe, if they got lucky previously too, like, maybe the scale's tipped. Maybe this time, I mean, I think that in my mind too, though, like, I look at the way that OU beat Alabama much the same way I look at how Texas beat OU. Like, you throw 3 picks, you give up a punt return touchdown. In this case, OU gave up one, or probably OU got a punt return that, went to like 30, 20, they got points off it. Like, you let that stuff happen, or if that stuff happens, you're going to lose. So I mean, like, you know, in some weird way, the scale's kind of balanced out.
Yeah, it's weird because when I walked out of the Cotton Bowl, I left with the impression of like Texas kicked OU's ass. You know, like maybe that's just because I was mad, but I still kind of feel that way. Like Texas kicked OU's ass up and down the field, and not once have I really seen anyone say, "Oh, you kicked Alabama's ass up and down the field," because all it goes to is they outgained them by 200 yards. Who gives a shit about yards?
Yeah, CFP Matrix Dave Bartu says it's a scoreboard. It's not like a yards board, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, just like I wrote in the post, like OU fans, I mean, how many times did we outgain opponents and lose in big games? Like it happened. It's very annoying. And the whole turnover thing being random, because I wrote about it on Sooners on SI a few times the week going into the Alabama game of how like this is why this game's going to be very difficult because Alabama is very good at forcing turnovers and they take care of the football. So if you're hoping that, hey, OU forced 3 turnovers against Tennessee, maybe they're trending in that direction. It's going to be hard to rely on that because of these reasons. And basically everybody echoed that. Everybody. And I'm not saying that they were wrong to do so. But then OU forces the turnovers against Alabama, and suddenly they're random. Like, no, OU's defense is good. And Brent, especially the pick 6, like, yes, the play was not Eli Bowen, you're going to intercept it and score a touchdown. But the play was, we're going to have Kip Lewis either sack this son of a bitch or he's going to throw it to the wrong spot and get an incomplete pass or an interception. Like that was how the play was designed. So that to me is why it's not fluky.
Well, I mean, to me though, I think when I think of turnovers being random in football, it's more along the lines of like, what's the best way to put it? Like there are like percentages, right, that tend to play out over time. So for example, if you fumble the ball, you generally have about 50% chance of recovering it, right? So, or if the other team fumbles it, right? So in any given game, if like one team fumbles the ball 3 times, 4 times and loses all of them, like that's kind of it's not supposed to really work like that, but it does, right? And that's where the randomness kind of comes into play in just about any game. But the thing is, though, is that you put yourself in position to get more turnovers by playing good defense, right? By forcing, I mean, if you're pressuring teams, you know, or if you're pressuring the quarterback, he's more likely to throw an interception or to get blindsided and fumble. If you're tackling well, the players on the other team are more likely to fumble. If you're covering well, you're more likely to get your hands on the ball. All that kind of stuff, and that's why I felt like OU is playing such good defense early in the season. All the concern about, when are they going to get a turnover? Like they would come. You just have to keep playing defense well. And so like now they're coming for OU. Like, it's kind of like just the math, the odds just kind of working out in the long run.
Yeah. The last OU thing before we get to the final topic, which is the coaching carousel in the sport. Last one for me, guys, is if you are coming back from a dislocated ankle as a quarterback, do you want to play against this defense?
Oh no, that was ridiculous. Like, why in the world would you why would they bring Pabula back for that? Like, that sounds terrible.
And with respect to Missouri, they beat us with Drew Pine last year. So hey, they got scoreboard. Hopefully OU goes out there and fixes that. But if everybody will recall in the off-season episodes, I said, of all the things I said, OU will kick the living shit out of Missouri. I don't feel as good about that now, but like I'm expecting more offense.
Well,
how much more?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Like, one thing to keep in mind too. I think people talk about like, OU hasn't handled success well in the past, and really they're talking about the end of the 2023 season, right?
Yes.
After the Texas game. But like this is different insofar as like, one, there is a playoff bid on the line. 2, that Texas game, OU had like had a week off, right? Then they played UCF, right? I mean, And so, like, mentally, you're more likely, I'd assume, after a big win like that, to kind of check out or lose focus with a longer break. You know what I mean? Like, having just played Alabama, like, think about what it's going to be like in Norman on Saturday. Like, I mean, fans are going to be pumped, all that stuff, right? Like, some of that momentum, for lack of a better word, had worn off after 2 weeks. This is a different thing, I think.
Yeah, Matt, were you at the Ole Miss game? I know you were there pregame. Oh yeah,
I was. Yes.
I mean, it was ugly weather, especially early on into the 11 a.m. kickoff. It was loud, and the game went in the direction of it shouldn't be loud. Even by the time Xavier Robinson took off and saved OU on the scoreboard, you'd think by that point people might have funneled out, given up hope, because it was just a long game.
Yeah.
And even still, it was loud. It was so loud in that stadium. So I'm expecting, especially with Drinkowitz, especially with it being Missouri and the Big 8, Big 12 history and last year's game and the shit talking going back and forth and the playoff at play, I'm expecting a pretty hostile environment in favor of OU.
Yeah, they're going to be out for blood. Yeah.
Just got to go out there and go make it happen. Coaching carousel. Is Lane Kiffin going to be the next head coach at insert school here? Alan Kinney.
I do think he will be coaching next year. Yes.
Oh.
Where? Hell if I know, man. But I mean, clearly he loves the attention and all that. I mean, and if I'm Ole Miss, I don't know. I always get this way about coaches, though. Like, if you don't want to be here, go ahead and go somewhere else. Then, like, we'll find somebody else. Like, I realize this is a fairly successful run given Ole Miss's long-term history, but still, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just it's undignified.
Rather undignified. I recall your podcast with Bunky Perkins going into the Ole Miss game, and you guys kind of talked about this because there was still, the conversation, the chatter about Lane's status at Ole Miss or somewhere else, Florida, at the time, was certainly in the air. And, with respect to his opinions, I must say, when I was listening to it, it really sounded like it put me back in time to 2016 and listening to Thunder fans explain to me why they thought Kevin Durant was going to stay. Now, I was shocked that Kevin Durant left, and especially to where he ended up going, to Golden State. I was shocked. But when I hear fans say, oh, he's ingrained in the community and he's bought a home for his family, and it's like, these are fucking millionaires, man. They don't live the same life that you and I do.
Yeah.
And I kind of applaud Ole Miss. Look, there's blue bloods, then there's football powers, and then there's capable schools. Like, the capable schools to me are like any of the directional Texas schools because of geography. Like, they can get talent and have a nice little run. Like, Tech is on it right now. Baylor was on it in the 2010s. Ole Miss is kind of in the capable tier for me because they're in the state of Mississippi. They're in the SEC, so they can have talent and go on a nice little run, but they're not a football power. Like, nothing suggests in their history that they are a football power. Lane needs to stay where he is. But I do applaud Ole Miss for essentially giving him an ultimatum. Is that confirmed, or is that just hearsay? The whole, you have until the Egg Bowl to decide if you're going to be with us. Otherwise, go somewhere else.
I've heard. I mean, I don't know. I guess we won't know until Kiffin says, "Well, no, I'm going to spend some more time thinking about this." It's kind of one of those things where it's easy to take a stand until they actually try to push back. So we'll see.
James Franklin at Virginia Tech. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say, I think that. I think Lane's going to LSU, and that's based off nothing. Like, obviously, I have no sources or
because of his daughter.
No, because I think that just Lane's not stupid. He knows that recruiting basically takes care of itself there, and then at LSU, and then obviously add in him loving the transfer portal and all that stuff. But I think I don't know if there's a coach that that just it kind of mirrors a fan base like Lane Kiffin would LSU. And why I would love it is because if there is that year where he goes 7-5, the LSU fans will turn on him so fucking fast. They'll be like, all of your trolling, all of your jokes, we love that shit when you were winning 11 games. We hate that shit now. I kind of want to see that happen.
That's why I'm like, you need to stay at the capable school and not the football power.
Yes, right? Exactly. It's like it fits his personality, it seems like,
Yeah, like you're not going to be able to be a Twitter troll at like Florida or LSU. And I've already talked about this with somebody. Well, Steve Spurrier was kind of a troll. Yeah, well, Steve Spurrier had already proven to be like that guy. Lane Kiffin has never proven to be that guy. He's proven to be a really good offensive mind and a pretty good coach relative to the sport. But he's also just proven to be a dork and a Twitter troll. Like, you can't do that at Florida and win 8 games. Can't do that at LSU and win 8 games. Sorry.
But that's why I want to see it, because I want to see the meltdown of those fan bases, especially LSU.
Yep.
Yeah,
James
people get mean.
James Franklin at Vautech do anything for you guys?
I think it's a good hire.
Yeah, gosh,
it's a great hire.
That's really good.
Really good, man. Like I talking to some people around here who are kind of juiced in, and they were all very, very excited. And I can see why, man. I mean, he's from he. I don't know if he's from the area specifically, but he knows the area really well. And he's the kind of guy or kind of hire I think that they can get kind of everybody on the same page now and move forward. I think it's a great move on their part.
Yeah, I mean, I got a soft spot for Virginia Tech just for how they start off their games with Enter Sandman. I've always wanted to, like, if there's ever an OU bye week and I've got all the money in the world, it'd be great to be able to fly to Blacksburg and go experience that. So, hopefully they're doing well. And besides, when I first got into college football, when I was 8, 9, and 10, Virginia Tech was awesome. They were always on TV, and I hated the University of Miami. And there was like that period of time from like 2003 to 2007 or 2006 when Vautech would just ruin Miami's season on Thursday night every year. So that was fun. I guess the only other thing is there's just weirdly like the whole Sark going somewhere else or the NFL or whatever the implication is, just him not being the coach at Texas next year. It's like a whack-a-mole thing. Like you think, okay, like the game's over, and then it just pops up over here a few weeks later. Like, what's his name? Desmond Howard had this little selfie videos saying, like, don't be surprised that there's like a mutual parting of ways between Texas and Sark. And it was just weird because he said it with such bravado and confidence. But as an OU fan, I would say I would rather he stay because I want OU to beat him. I don't want there to ever be like a Texas coach that has OU's number. For the longest time, Darrell Royal had OU's number, and then the King became head coach. Darrell might have he might have the win-loss record over OU because he was there for like the late 50s, 60s, so I think he probably does. But Barry forced him to retire, and I really like that. So I would rather beat Texas when they're good. Sark makes them good, and I don't want him to leave before we have a chance to beat him. But I mean, what's the validity of this claim, Alan, when it comes to Sark not being the coach at Texas?
I mean, if you ask me to bet, I think he's probably back at Texas next year, and I think he's potentially whatever's going on here is him just kind of telling them to get out of his business, but. From what I understand, of all people, I listened to Jeff Ketchum talking about this, and he said that part of the issue is that Texas is in a position where they're not going to be able to operate in general the way they have the past few years because of the way things are going to go with revenue sharing and the way they feel like NIL money is going to end up getting. They think the NIL spigot is going to get kind of reduced to a bit of a trickle, just with this clearinghouse. Who knows if that's true? But I don't know. I mean, in terms of me personally, how I feel about it, I've always felt like while I don't root for Texas, and I love it when Texas loses. If Texas is bad, I feel like it makes it kind of easy for OU to, in the past, rest on their laurels. Now, I don't know if that'll be the case going forward because level of competition is a little bit different in the SEC than it had been in the past. But I don't know, man. I guess I've said it a bunch. I don't think Sark is a particularly good head coach. And so like, I don't know. I almost worry that they'd hire somebody better, like, but I mean, that's just the way I look at it.
I kind of had this thought too. Well, like when the Sark stuff was that Diana Rossini that put out the fishing around the NFL
with 10
waters?
toes down.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But yeah, I don't think I'd blame a coach wanting to take an NFL head coaching job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you get an off season, you get way more, just downtime, I would guess, than having to recruit all the time. But do you think Dan Lanning would take the Texas job?
I
would say no.
Is Dan Lanning a good coach? Like, that is starting
another
to
one.
Right.
Yeah, that's starting to, man, it feels like all these things just turn on their head. Brent Venables is not it. Oh my God, maybe he is. Sark and Dan Lanning are it. Oh my God, maybe they're not. It's like someone flip the switch at the same time.
Yeah, well, but they also took their jobs at kind of weird times in college football. You know what I mean? When they could really take advantage of some, new opportunities in college
advantages.
football.
Yes.
Yeah, and like if those go away, who knows?
Last question for you guys. Are you still shocked that Shane Beamer is employed?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man. I would not be surprised to see him get his walking papers at the end of the season. But but Brady. Ooh. Okay. So Shane Beamer comes back as OU's new tight ends coach. Yes or no?
I guess that technically goes against my how I view things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really chalk Shane Beamer up in
okay.
I don't really chalk him up as like, he's not a Stoops guy,
Yeah.
All right. And like guys coming back in very limited roles,
like a running back coach or a tight ends coach.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. We're not there yet. There are games to be won. There are playoff games to get into before we get into like who on the offensive coaching staff is not.
Who's got to go after this 10 win after this playoff season?
Let's just go ahead and pre-record no cap recap right now.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, now that that's over, moving on.
Now, anything else, guys, before we get out of here?
No, man.
I'm good, man.
Well, you heard it here first, I guess. But again, just like Peyton said, go check out patreon.com/thekeyhole for all the preview podcasts he'll be putting out this week, previewing the Missouri Tigers. Looking forward to that. Keyholepod.com. That's the free website where you can find Alan Kenny's thoughts and blatant homerism column. That will come out, Wednesday, Thursday, you think, Alan?
Yeah. Something like that.
That'll do. So we'll look forward to that. And, of course, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and a 5-star rating on Spotify. We would greatly appreciate that, and it would help the show. I almost forgot. We got Peyton's prediction. Alan, what's your prediction for OU Missouri?
The Spirit Shop has been Norman's source for wine, beer, and spirits since 1976. We feature the biggest selection and best prices in town. Thousands of different wines, beers, spirits, and more. Live in Norman? We deliver all over town, every day, usually in under an hour. Let us bring the party to you. Go to our website and order online at www.thespiritshop.org or give us a call at 405-321-3100. That's 405-321-3100. In from out of town for the game? Come see us at the corner of Main and Berry, just 2 miles east of I-35. Take the Main Street exit and browse thousands of fine wines and hard-to-find bourbon in store.
Oh gosh, I'll say OU 17, Missouri 12.
Ooh. Okay. Maddie?
Man, I basically, as soon as the clock struck 0 at Alabama, I was like, I just know these last 2 games are going to be just dogfights. So I got OU 20-17.
20-17. And just
I had to give Tate Sandell one more field goal than Peyton Allen did. Okay, so there we go.
And just out of curiosity, because you were I think you went to the bathroom when we were talking about this. What was your prediction for Alabama? Because you weren't on the show, I don't think.
Right.
So because we didn't get yours.
Yeah, I had Alabama. I had 27-20. So I had them covering. Yeah. Basically, well, the thing is with our listeners, since I don't know, it's been a thing when OU's underdogs and I pick the other team to cover, that OU just covers or just straight up wins whenever I pick against them. So they were basically like, you have to pick Alabama, you have to pick Tennessee, and I did both those times. So everyone knows what my pick's going to be this week. So Missouri plus the points.
There you go. I said this on the radio after the Alabama game on the franchise. I'm confident. I'm confident. I also said that OU is going to kick Missouri's ass in the offseason. I said it a lot. I still feel it in my bones. I like OU 38-13. Might be a random offensive performance. It might not translate to LSU, but you know what? On this Saturday, I think the offense looks like it's September self, and they just have a good day. Teams have good days. They have days where like things just work. Maybe chalk it up to that. Missouri, especially under Eli Drinkowitz, his entire career, I think he had that. I saw that stat where he has a really good record against teams under 500, and he is, I mean, just fucking awful against teams above. And OU is, of course, well above 500. So playing at home, juiced up, excited crowd. They know how to handle 11 a.m. kickoffs, playoffs at stake. Yeah. Like, I might be stupid because I also don't like the offense. But got to be confident. That's how
it's weird. All three of you guys only have Tate Sandell getting 1 field goal. That's I can't believe you guys.
No. I had 5 field goals and a safety.
There you go.
I mean, at this point, just really limit the field goal attempts. Like, dude, like just let it. Just score touchdowns, no more field goals. Like, he's already won the Groza. Don't give it. Let's not tempt fate here. Even though he's a machine. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening through the Keyhole. Those are the score predictions brought to you by the Spirit Shop in Norman. Go check them out. Go order and drink responsibly this week as you get prepared for a big game in Norman. We're excited. But for Peyton Guthrie, for Alan Kinney, Matt Burton, myself, Brady Trantham, everybody, thank you so much for listening to Through the Keyhole. Until next time, Boomer.
Sooner.